Hello, I'm Liana Kroll, and I'm Head of Information, Research, and Access for the Moving Image Department at the George Eastman Museum. Our curator of film exhibitions, Jared Case, has been sharing streaming recommendations with you, and I'm very happy to offer my own today, 2001's La Ciénaga. In March of last year, we showed a series of 4 films highlighting South American director Lucrecia Martel. These also happen to be her only 4 feature films. The first 3 in the series were written and directed by Martel, and they're often referred to as her Salta trilogy, as all were set in her hometown of Salta, Argentina. La Ciénaga, 2004's The Holy Girl, and 2008's The Headless Woman. These were followed last year by the Rochester premiere of her most recent film, 2017's Zama, which was adapted from the 1956 novel historically set in Argentina. Stories and storytelling were an important part of Martel's life growing up. Her parents and grandmother were constantly telling stories to her and each of her 6 siblings, especially to keep them still and quiet during siesta. The sounds, tones, rhythms, and silence of speech captivated her. As a teenager, Martel began making home movies of her family using a video camera bought by her father. She recorded daily life and conversations of her family to such an extent her filmmaking became secondary to them. This can be seen as parallel to the direction in La Ciénaga, where the mundane is celebrated and normality becomes absurd. While the subject matter of her films center around family relations, don't call them women's films. As she says, romantic comedies are my enemy. Martel is a lover of horror films like Cat People and Eyes Without a Face, and while her movies are not scary, you can see the impact of the genre on her style of storytelling. Horror is often about the audience's perception of an event or individual, and the sense of surprise and confusion when those perceptions are or aren't met. The feeling is created by the form, not the facts, of the story. Martel creates this effect in her framing, editing, and most importantly, her use of sound. The influence for La Ciénaga comes from a moment in Martel's childhood, when she went with her mother to see the image of the Virgin Mary that had appeared in a nearby water tank. While Martel saw nothing, her mother was so moved by the image she started crying. Martel thought about the impact such a moment must have on her mother going forward, but the next day it was as if nothing had happened. This is a theme she explores. Extraordinary things don't create extraordinary actions. After its release, La Ciénaga received a great deal of critical acclaim for Lucrecia Martel and won a number of awards, including the Grand Choral Award at the Havana Film Festival, the Berlin Alfred Bauer Award, the Sundance Norma K. Henning Award, and Toulouse Film Festival Grand Prix. La Ciénaga is currently streaming on the Criterion channel, so head over and check it out. And don't forget to come back for more streaming recommendations from the Dryden Theater.